Hi there, welcome back. So, we're going to jump in today and find out how to tell if your friends are narcissists. So, number one, you feel drained after spending any time with them, whether it's on the phone, whether you're in person. You don't feel great. Do you feel better? Do you feel worse? That's always a really good barometer of um, how good a relationship you have with someone. So if you're spending time with someone or speaking to someone or connecting in any way and you feel drained, you feel exhausted, you feel you need to like recover and spending time with them, then it's probably not a good sign. Number two, ruminating. Are you ruminating about your friendship? Are you thinking about things that you should have said or shouldn't have said? Or how are they taking it? What are they thinking about? What are they doing? Also, not a great sign. Um, and leads to number three, analyzing the relationship. If you constantly have to analyze, if you constantly have to think about, you know, should I send that text or why aren't they texting me back? And again, this is not none of these by themselves are, oh, my friend's a narcissist, but it's a culmination of many, many, many things. So these are like going through the points. And then if you get a lot of these points, chances are you're friends with a narcissist. So again, you just have to constantly almost second guess yourself, second guess them. What are their motives? What are they up to? You're almost fixating on it a little bit. And least number four, you can't be vulnerable. So if you're not able to be truly vulnerable, if you can't really express yourself, if you can't be emotional, if you feel like you're going to be judged by this person. Number five, in they're being inauthentic or fake, or maybe you're being inauthentic and fake because you can't be vulnerable. So the person is projecting a certain image or aura and it just feels a little off. And if you're thinking like, I don't really know this person, or I can't really get a handle on them, or they seem kind of changeable, maybe they're one way with you and a different way with someone else, or you feel like you can't be yourself with that person. Number six is a lack of trust. You feel like you really can't trust them. Oops, lost my mic. You feel like you can't trust them. Perhaps there's been a past betrayal and you feel like you're not sure if you can trust them because of that. Also not a great sign. Uh, Talks behind others' backs. I guarantee you if they're talking behind other people's backs or gossiping, they're doing the same to you. Triangulates, which kind of feeds into the last one, where they're kind of bringing other people into the relationship. So it might be that they're talking about you to other people. It might be that they're comparing you to others. It could be that they are trying to make you feel isolated or alone, like, well, this person also agrees with me that, or we all think this. It's kind of like it creates an us or them mentality where you feel isolated and they are grouping others in with them, or they could be stirring the pot and causing problems between various friends. So, this idea where they're bringing people in who don't really belong, and it's always for a nefarious reason. So then another one, number nine, resentful of your successes or accomplishments. So it's not, sometimes if we're, having a bad day or maybe our life isn't going great, we're only human. And maybe if somebody's doing really well, it's hard to feel happy for them in that moment. But I'm talking about an overreaching where they never want you to do well. They never want you to do better than them. They're always, there's a sense of resentment, or if something great happens, they either have to interject by telling you the crappy things. They kind of ruin it because they're telling you the crappy things that happen to them, or maybe they're going to poke holes in it like, are you really sure you want that? Or, ooh, I don't know, I heard really bad things about that city, or it rains all the time if you move there. So again, resentful and make little comments to kind of poke holes in your happiness. They sabotage you. So it seems pretty obvious, but again, they go to their way to, they might set you up in some way where you'll fail. They might talk about you behind someone's back. They may inadvertently let something slip. So basically, they are going to make something not go right for you, but it's on purpose. puts you down or criticizes or is judgmental. So again, it could be little snot, little jibes, it could be little digs, it could be really a little more obvious, but basically, or just an overall sense of being judged. They say mean things, but they were only teasing. So, oh, can't you take a joke? Oh, come on, I was just kidding. I don't really think that. So again, they mean it. What they said was true, and the teasing is just a cover or a form of gaslighting you. Number 13, gaslights. So again, they can say nasty things, go back on them, or they can pretend something never happened, or what are you talking about? I never said that, or that's not, like basically they're making you kind of doubt yourself, feel a little crazy, kind of look at you and think, are you the problem? They kind of keep you on edge. Compares you to others. So it could be this idea like maybe you got this great job or something and they're like, oh, but so and so, they have that job, but they got it when they were younger. Or, oh, but they make more money than you do. Or, so a way to kind of, again, put you down, keep you in your place. They're condescending. They talk down to you. Again, seems pretty obvious, but, that never comes from a good place. Usually it's their own insecurity. Sense of entitlement. So somehow they could be entitled to your time, they could be entitled to your money, your things, or just an all-around entitlement that kind of follows them wherever they go. They fake apologies, or there's no action or change to follow up. So, oh, I'm so sorry, or oh, I'm sorry you felt that way, or I'm sorry I upset you, but they're never really, it's not a real apology. Or if they do make apologies, nothing changes. It's hollow. They're hollow, empty apologies. They're too nice. So by nice, I mean, they're so afraid of conflict because they don't want to come off as the bad guy. So they might, sort of be this, it's kind of like a fake kind of idea where they have to preserve an image of themselves as being very nice, but it's don't buy it. It's not real. And besides, there's a huge difference between nice and kind, which I will cover in another video. Performative. So performative could be that they are carrying themselves a certain way because they want to get attention. They want to look a certain way. They could be using you if you're of like higher status, or look a certain way, or maybe know the right crowd or have money or whatever. They're using you for what you can provide. So that's what I mean about very performative. They overshare and then resent you. So it could be that they opened up about something and they went on and, almost a little too much. And then they're mad at you afterwards because maybe you saw them when they were a teeny bit vulnerable and now they're really angry about it, and they might try and punish you for that. They're not there for you emotionally, even physically. It could be that they're always canceling plans, or they're just never available, you're very low priority, or they're just really not there for you emotionally. Like if you try to open up, they either change the topic, or oh, let's not dwell on the negative, or oh, well, everything will be fine. So, there's that, you're just not getting your needs met, basically. They discard you and come back, and it's a pattern. So they might discard you for another person. They might disappear for a while. They might ghost for a while, and then suddenly they're back. And they always have some excuse. And then they're off again. Then they're back. Then it's this pattern of coming and going. At the very beginning of the relationship, they might love bomb you. They might come on really strong. Like sometimes people will say, oh, I met this person, and the next thing you know, we were like best friends. And I'm not saying that can't happen in some circumstances where you just really hit it off with someone, but this is like almost like it's planned, like they're bombarding you almost. It becomes almost obsessive on their part, and you kind of will know that when it happens, or you'll see it afterwards, like, wait a minute, they were constantly texting, and then they got mad if you didn't get back to them right away. There's like a forced quality. It's not organic. It's not like this natural give and take that happens between when friends become close. It's very one-sided, and they're getting very angry with you if you're not keeping up with whatever pace they're setting. They're not respecting your boundaries. And then they'll say you're the crazy one. So in other words, it comes back to the gaslighting. They might do nasty things to you, but then if you try to defend yourself or you try to say it happened, like, what are you talking about? I think you need help. I think maybe you should go to therapy. I think, it's always projecting back onto you. And then that actually can take us to 25 is they don't respect your boundaries. So basically, when you do try to set some boundaries or stick up for yourself, they will trot all over them and they'll get really offended. Um, or they'll accuse you of being standoffish, or or maybe you're too sensitive. Also, it kind of fits in with gaslighting. And number 26, they see you as a project. So this is more of the, what we call kind of the nice narcissist. I don't know. There are some people that come off very like I don't care about me. I only care about everybody else. And they project this image. They're so philanthropic. They're so charitable. It's almost like you're their charity and they'll take you on. And a lot of times it might be someone who they see you beneath them. You're like an object. You're a pet to them. And then they want to like change the way you dress or change the way, maybe they want to set you up with someone, but they are calling the shots. They're always in complete control. It's never coming from a good place. It's always to make themselves feel better. So those are some very top kind of red flags to watch out for if you think you're friends with a narcissist or even a group of narcissists. There's different kinds of narcissists, as I've covered before, but these are kind of generalized ways to tell. And as I've said earlier in the video, just if someone has one or two of these, it could be other things, but I'm talking about there's so many, there's so many of these together. And, the bottom line is what I said, number one, if you don't feel better after spending time with someone, that is not a good person to have in your life. Really, that's what it is. I'm not talking about if somebody is having a bad day or they have to lean on you or they're not always like great company. I'm talking about this sense of you're just not ever getting your needs met. You feel drained. You feel tired. You just feel overwhelmed and you just don't feel very great and you don't feel good about yourself. And that's really the crux of it. If you do not feel good about yourself in relationship to this person, whether they're a narcissist or not, they are not good for you. And that relationship needs to end. So that's it for today. And if you have any questions or anything else you want me to cover, I'd love to hear your comments. If you haven't already, please subscribe, please like, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.